Greetings, kitties, and welcome to Deadheaddaddy's Creepy Things. That's right, I am your undead host, the Deadheaddaddy, and I thank you once again for visiting my humble little crypt. Now, in my continuing effort to go places no other horror host will dare to go, I was lucky enough to gain official media accreditation from the Cleveland International Film Festival. So this episode is completely dedicated to that great fest. Now, before we begin, let me get into some details. First of all, I want to thank our friends at the Midnight Syndicate once again for providing the music for my segments of the show. If you're not listening to them, there's something wrong with you. Go listen, now. Turn me off. Or pause me and go listen for a while and then come back. Anyways, I do want to thank the Cleveland International Film Festival, or CIFF, as we'll call them the rest of the time, for allowing us to film and see some of their movies at the festival. It was a great time. It is very well organized. The staff was very helpful and very friendly, and it was just a great, amazing, scary time. You get a chance to go to this festival, I highly recommend it. It's hosted at Tower City Cinemas in Cleveland, Ohio, and it is a very good time. Full range of movies across the board, so it's a good time. Go there. Anyways, before I get into all the horror movies that we saw at the festival, I want to mention a non-horror film. That film would have been My Brother Simple. Now, if you're not in the mood for horror movies, you want something a little more acceptable, then My Brother Simple was a great movie. It's basically a drama comedy about two brothers, one of them who is mentally challenged, who go on the run when the younger brother is no longer allowed to take care of him. It'll make you laugh, it'll make you cry, but I did want to throw it out there. It's not horror related, but it is a good movie, so definitely check it out. Now, there are a lot of films and shorts we missed out. We missed out on this year because we were only able to go one day and attend 3 actual horror films. So, I hope that we can go again next year. We'll plan better, plan for more than one day, and have more reviews. Now, before I get into the reviews, I'm going to take a quick little break, and we'll be right back with 4 stellar horror movies from the Cleveland International Film Festival. Be right back. Reels for the wretched. Alright, boys and ghouls. Now, let's get right into the crazy kooky reviews. Before I continue, we are not featuring a movie in this episode because we want to focus on CIFF and CIFF exclusively. So, sit back and enjoy some great reviews of some amazing independent films. Now, let's start off with The Changeover. Whoa! The Changeover is a 2017 film from New Zealand. Directed by Miranda Harcourt and Stuart Mackenzie. 16-year-old Laura lives with her mother and 4-year-old brother, Jacko, in a poor Christchurch suburb. Laura is drawn into a supernatural battle with an ancient spirit who is slowly draining the life force from Jacko. Laura discovers the supernatural ability within her and must harness it to save her little brother's life. Now, I did like this movie, but of the the 3 films that we were able to see at the festival, this was probably the weakest of those 4. It is a little slow and quite predictable, actually. Kind of like Twilight with witches, but not as romantic and sappy. I did enjoy the movie. I just thought it could have been a little faster, had a little bit more of the supernatural elements going on in it, and it took too long to get to the point that they were trying to make. I will say, actor Timothy Spall, who you have seen in movies like the Harry Potter films and the Johnny Depp Sweeney Todd film, is absolutely amazing and terrifying as the villain in this movie. So, for him alone, see this movie. He saves it, he keeps it interesting, and he did an amazing job. If this was a bigger budget film, a studio film, I would say it was Oscar-worthy nomination, in fact. So, again, it's not a horrible movie. I do think it's definitely worth your time. But I am only going to give this film 2 severed heads out of a possible 4. So, go ahead and check it out and let me know if I'm a nutball and you loved it. The next film that we saw at CIFF was The Game of Death, which is a 2017 Canadian-French film directed by Laurence Baz Morales and Sebastian Landry. Now, kill or be killed is the only rule of the Game of Death. 7 millennials ignore the rule and now each one's heads will explode unless they kill someone before the timer runs out. Will they turn on each other, or will this be their final turn? Alright, The Game of Death is an 80s-inspired slasher with cheesy gore and irritating teens. It centers on an electronic board game where each player has to put their finger in, they get pricked by blood, and then there is a timer. If someone is not killed by the time that timer goes off, ba-boom, their heads explode. And then the next round starts. Now, I will tell you that I couldn't help but enjoy this movie. Yes, weakly acted, like most horror films. Well, not too bad. The acting was okay. The gore was so over the top and cheesy. And it was just a crazy little mess of a movie, but I couldn't help it. I was in there to see some bloody gore, to see some cheesy horror, and it totally accomplished all of that. This was the only film that we did see where the audience laughed and cheered along with all the deaths and killing and murder and mayhem. So it really made you feel like you were back in the 80s checking out a classic slasher film. So that did definitely help a lot. Now, I will say, don't think too hard on this one. Just kind of in the vein of things like Full Moon and Trauma, more Trauma, but just enjoy it and have a good time. I do recommend it so much, I'm actually going to give this movie 3 severed heads. So, definitely check out The Game of Death as well. Alright, I'm going to take another small little break, and then I'll be back with 2 more films. Wow!
On August 10th, in a California drive-in, it all began. It will grip you like nothing you have ever witnessed before. It is absolute and total horror.
Will you cut it out? Let me get...
Come on, Alan.
Sweetheart,
Come on.
Come on. psychotic killer is usually a man, driven by lust, by passion, and by hate. The time between each killing gets shorter.
Someone, please! She's dead!
Please get out! Please get out of your life! Get out!
For the psychotic killer still on the loose, the police chase every suspect in the city, but to no avail.
I haven't picked up a knife since the Carney closed.
You used to be a sword swallower. Do you still have any of those blades?
Mr. Van Heusen lets me use his private collection.
And you were seen parked next to the victim's car.
You crawled out of your car to the victim's vehicle.
I don't know anything about that.
Stand still now. Who's in there?
Oh my God!
Who's in there?
Now, the fear that makes brave men run will freeze you in your seat, make your blood run cold, and finally, make you scream in terror. Warning, DriveIn Massacre has been deemed too terrifying for the average viewer. The risk is entirely yours.
Alright, groovy ghoulies, I hope you've been enjoying all the reviews so far, and the little coming attractions and ads we've added in between to keep you entertained while I go find a body to gnaw on for a little bit. Anyways, so, the next movie we saw at CIFF would be Ruin Me. Now, Ruin Me is a United States-made movie from 2017 as well, and it's directed by Preston DeFrancis. Alexandria reluctantly tags along for Slasher Sleepout. Yes, Slasher Sleepout. Anyways, an entire event that is part camping trip, part haunted house, and part escape room. But when the fun turns deadly, Alex has to play the game if she wants to make it out alive. Now, Ruin Me was easily, by far, the best film that we saw at CIFF. It is clearly a love letter to 80s slashers with an escape room twist, and director Preston DeFrancis completely loves and gets the genre. It was amazing. Now, considering what I do, I would say for a living, but I don't get paid, and I'm dead. So considering what I do, I've seen my fair share of slashers. Tons of them. And I will say that although this movie does tap into all the usual slasher film tropes, by the last 10 minutes of the movie, I was still guessing what was really going on. Preston has a great directorial eye. You'd never guess this was his very first film directing. And I also want to say that Ruin Me is low-budget films done correctly. You would never even realize how low the budget really was because they use the money so well and so smartly. So, it's very well done, very well acted, great story, great special effects. It is a great, great film. I will want to say, did I say it was actually excellently written? Because it was. Everything about this movie was very high quality for being a low-budget film. Now, DeFrancis was the only director of the festival that we saw that came out and explained and talked a little bit about the film and how he was excited to be part of the Cleveland International Film Festival. Plus, he was the only one that we got to have a question and answer session with as well. Not just him, but the producers and the co-writer of the movie were there, and it was a really, really cool time. We got to hear a lot of behind-the-scenes stories, inspiration, and it was great. I would have filmed it and included it on the show, but I didn't want any spoilers to be given away. So, just trust me, it was a good time. This is a great film again, and it was a fan film. I mean, it was a slasher film made for the fans, by the fans, and it shows. I cannot rave about this movie enough. In fact, so much so that I am going to give this little terror fest 4 out of 4 severed heads. So, they are working on a distribution deal right now for the film. Once those details are available, I will let you know how to find it, because you need to find this film. Alright, one last film to go. As I said, at the film festival, we were only able to attend 3 horror films, but I contacted all the producers and companies that made all the horror films for the festivals to try to get some of those movies sent to me, or screeners or something, so that I could review as many as possible. The producers of a Japanese movie called Vampire Clay were right on top of it and got us a screener just in time. Like I said, Vampire Clay is from Japan, and it's a 2017 movie. Before I get to the review, I will say it was so good, I regret missing it, because it has to be amazing on the big screen. Anyways, it's directed by sci-fi master, and I'm gonna screw this up, Soshi Ukazawa. Sorry, don't mean to offend. A clay demon devours the students of a rural art school in this hilarious mashup of the Blob and the Evil Dead. You know how I feel about the Evil Dead, so anything even remotely similar to it, as long as it's well made, I'm gonna love. Anyways, now, like I said, we didn't see this actually at the festival, so thank you to the producers for getting us a copy that we could watch and able to include it on this show. I absolutely loved the sheer insanity and the over-the-top feel of this movie. You know, Japan is known for their crazy horror films, like one of my personal favorites, Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder in Hell. But this movie had a bigger budget than we're used to, and was very well acted and actually great, very well directed. It almost feels like a major studio film in its quality, but doesn't back away from the sheer Japanese horror insanity. It's great, the kills are hilarious, the whole concept is wackadoodle, and it's just a fun movie. So, this movie also is still working on distribution rights, so when this movie is available, I will let you know as well. And I am also going to give this film 4 severed heads. So, definitely, these are definitely some movies even the ones that I didn't like as well as the others, they're all movies you definitely should keep an eye out for. Look for them on DVD, on Blu-ray, on your streaming services. However you watch your films, definitely keep an eye out for all of these films. Alright, I'll be right back to close out the show. I think I need a lozenge. Yeah, my throat's a little sore. So, anyways, I'll be right back, kitties. Rawr.
It's refreshment time, folks. Time out for a delicious snack in our sparkling refreshment building. Every item a fresh, appetizing taste treat.
We've a large assortment of freshly made sandwiches. How about a pizza? None better anywhere. Sizzling hamburgers grilled to your taste. Mouth-watering chili dillies.
Dog days, hot dog days that is, somehow have a way of turning out to be fun days. The pop and sizzle of the juicy meat seems to say, come and get me, I'm done to a turn. Yep, hungry or not, it's hard to resist the tantalizing aroma and taste appeal of a sizzling hot dog. The nice part of it is, there's one waiting for you right now at the refreshment stand.
The artist, the poet, the figure model who loves to show it.
You suppose he could be physically attracted to her?
No, man, he ain't the type. You don't get enough vitamin E.
All these are beat. All these you'll meet in A Bucket of Blood.
Let us make the scene.
Crazy.
Come, enjoy yourself. Where the hilarious enjoy the horrifying in A Bucket of Blood. No, you're gonna shoot me! Don't shoot! Come to the land of living dreams, where realists dream of the unreal.
Walter, you've done something to me. Something deep down inside of my prana. Oh, Walter, I want to be with you. You're creative.
Beatniks at their bawdiest. The creative urge at its most primitive. I'm deeply moved, and I shall compose a poem. Love is art. Art is love. It's the weirdest and the wildest. I don't want to make statues anymore. I want to get married. To you.
Alright, kiddies, that is it for our special episode dedicated to the 42nd Annual Cleveland International Film Festival. Again, I want to thank the organizers of that festival. We had a grand experience, gruesome time. We definitely hope we can come back next year, that you'll let us crawl through your hallways once again, because it was a very good time. Again, thank you to the Tower Cities Cinema in Cleveland for hosting the thing. They did a great job putting it on. If you're in the area, you're looking for a good film festival, this is the one to check out, boys and ghouls. Trust me, you'll have a blast. Now, being a film festival, there were awards, and unfortunately, none of the movies that we saw or reviewed won any of the awards. But that's what happens. So I want to make just a little suggestion to CIFF. Maybe include a separate category just for horror movies, or at least genre movies. Give us a chance to have our voices be heard as well. Other than that, a great experience. Again, I hope we can return. And before I wrap this thing up, I want to let you know there was another movie at the festival from 2017. It's called Revenge, and you can actually watch that movie right now on Shudder and Netflix. I wasn't able to watch it before filming the show, but the trailer is out there, so check that out. And if you see that film, let me know what you thought. Maybe if you send me a little video, maybe I'll include it on the show. So definitely let me know what you thought of that. I do want to thank the Ghoulfriend for coming along on the episode and helping me with these reviews and giving me ideas of what to talk about. And of course, I also want to thank the Midnight Syndicate for the music in my segments. Love those guys, and I'm grateful for their generosity. Alright, make sure you check us out on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. Feel free to subscribe and definitely like the channel, like the videos, and let me know what you think. Let me know if my reviews are totally horrible, or if I'm right on spot. Say hi, at the very least. Let me know what's going on in your horror world. Also, you can check us out on the Monster Channel, which we are grateful to be part of that. Check their website for local listings, for listings of when my show and all the other horrible horror hosts will be on. You'll be there for hours. It's a great show. Now, Before I leave, I also want to say episode 21 is coming down the pike, and as mentioned earlier in the episode, we will be featuring the slasher classic, DriveIn Massacre. Of course, my reviews will be in there as well, and maybe some other surprises as well. So, again, can't thank the Cleveland International Film Festival enough. Can't thank all of you enough for watching. It's been a blast. I will catch you next time. But most of all, as always, I want each and every one of my boys and ghouls out there to stay creepy.